Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I am a massive fan of The Simpsons. My collection shows no bounds. I have the entire world of Springfield here in my set, and a million other boxes of things that my family can attest on the walls here. The show came out when I was 9 years old, and it practically raised me on its lessons and its humor. I even raised my own kids 33 years later. So it pains me to have to make this video calling out its creators, but I believe their hypocrisy on this issue needs to be discussed. May 9th is Lisa Simpson's birthday. And this year for her birthday, I'm asking you to help me get the creators of The Simpsons to right a massive wrong that they did 3 years ago. In March 2019, producers James L. Brooks, Al Jean, and creator Matt Groening pulled the iconic Season 3 premiere episode, Stark Raving Dad. For those that haven't seen the episode, it's about Homer being sent to a mental institution and befriending someone there who claims to be Michael Jackson. The episode revolves around whether or not this new friend is actually Michael Jackson. In the end, Michael helps Bart write a song for Lisa's birthday. It was a beautiful little number that Jackson himself helped write. For the longest time, this was hailed as one of the best Simpson episodes and one of the best Simpson guest stars of all time. It was funny, wholesome, and it was even rebroadcast as a tribute to Michael after his death in 2009. So with Michael Jackson and The Simpsons so supportive of each other through his entire life, why is it that this is the only episode pulled from Disney Plus and syndication? Well, the creators pulled it in response to HBO's Leaving Neverland, a so-called documentary where two alleged grown victims of Michael spoke up over 4 hours detailing horrific accusations they claim happened to them at the Neverland Ranch. Now, for those of you that only watched the documentary, the revelations were indeed horrifying to hear. However, as a fan of The Simpsons, if they've taught me anything, it's to not believe everything I hear on television.
I don't know Homer Simpson. I never met Homer Simpson or had any contact with him, but...
That's okay. Your tears say more than real evidence ever could.
Viewers of Leaving Neverland who refused to just believe what they were being told and do the actual homework on the accusers and their accusations saw it for the completely biased and one-sided hit piece that it was. And thankfully, over the years, more and more people have wised up to this reality. Film's director, Dan Reed, seemed more concerned with the salacious allegations over the facts themselves. He was constantly editing the film even after it premiered in festivals because he was caught with elements that were false. The two alleged victims were even forced to retell their stories multiple times, including more dramatic props and specifics, which filmmaker Dan Reed constantly reshot. I just can't even imagine reshooting a survivor's story like this and then attempting to cover it up like it didn't even happen. Then we get to the accusers' stories themselves. James Safechuck's allegations were put in doubt when, among his vivid details, viewers were able to prove that the train station he alleged the events happening wasn't even built at the time he was with Michael. It wasn't like he just got the date wrong, he got the entire location of the incident wrong, and filmmaker Dan Reed continues to this day to try to claim that it doesn't matter. Not to mention the fact that there are countless interviews of Wade Robson defending Michael Jackson for decades on talk shows, even in a court of law.
We covered the trial, and you were one of the few people to stick up for him. Mm-hmm. And why do you think that was? And why was it important for you to stick up for him?
Because he's always been a friend to me. That's what you do for friends, you tell the truth. You know?
During Michael's criminal trial where he was acquitted and found not guilty of all charges, it was Wade's testimony that really changed a lot of people's minds. He defended Michael without hesitation. Look, I could spend hours breaking down the mistruths and inaccuracies about both Leaving Neverland and Michael Jackson in general. If you actually want to open your mind and learn the truth, I implore you to look at both of those documentaries I just showed you. In fact, I'll put a playlist right here that you can click to learn more. Because the thing you'll learn that ties all Michael Jackson accusers together, and there's 5, the thing that ties them all together is money. Not a single one of them came forward to actually help children. No, they all came for a payday. I find it incredibly convenient that both of the accusers in Leaving Neverland only came forward after Michael Jackson's death when he couldn't sue them for defamation. In fact, Wade Robson was already out there shopping a book after his death, and he was also very upset when he didn't get the Cirque du Soleil Michael Jackson show, and that's when he finally changed his tune. They both have been trying to sue the estate for years, and they both had their lawsuits dismissed. I don't know how else to tell it to you, but these guys aren't being truthful. I can't make you learn the facts, but that's not even really the point here. The hypocrisy of The Simpsons, pulling an episode merely over an allegation, is ripe given its own episode, Homer Badman, where Homer is falsely accused by an angry mob, egged on by the media.
Just wish I had tweak.
So, Mr. Simpson, you admit you grabbed her can. Mr. Simpson, your silence will only incriminate you further. No, Mr. Simpson, don't take your anger out on me. Get back, Mr. Simpson, no!
It's even more troubling given all the other episodes still in syndication featuring guest stars that have also been mired in allegations or even actual bad behavior. Dustin Hoffman, Alec Baldwin, Lena Dunham, Ted Nugent, Charlie Rose, Hugh Hefner, David Copperfield, Richard Branson, Mario Batali, 50 Cent, Neil deGrasse Tyson. And then there's the creator of Ren and Stimpy, John Kay, who has animated not one, but 2 opening couch gags with his signature that are still on Disney+. And this guy has seemingly been caught doing the most horrific things you can imagine to his fans. But most hypocritical of them all is creator Matt Groening himself, who I'm sure does not like people making further assumptions on the allegation that Virginia Guthrie has made on an airplane involving his crusty feet.
Oh, help, please! Someone throw me a stick!
Don't struggle. You'll only sink faster.
This is a show that has had no qualms laughing at Homer being taken advantage of.
Let's do it.
Oh, I have an early date.
I wasn't asking.
And then later again in a panda suit.
Ping Ping just asked Sim Sim to marry him, and I think she just said yes. You ain't going nowhere, cutie.
Look, my goal is not to get any of these episodes removed. I'm merely trying to point out the danger it is to start rewriting history and censoring art. Another lesson I learned from The Simpsons in Itchy and Scratchy and Marge. A point made by journalist Isaac Butler on Slate.com, who's unsure about Michael Jackson, who condemned the move to edit the episode. In that article, he said, "Preventing people from seeing a work of art is almost never the correct moral stand. Brooks, Gene, and Groening ought to know this, seeing as that's the point of Itchy and Scratchy and Marge, the show's early, brilliant episode about the limits of stopping people from seeing art that makes them uncomfortable. In that episode, Marge Simpson successfully gets Itchy and Scratchy, the dumb, hyper-violent show beloved by her children, taken off the air, only to change her mind when she's recruited into an effort to censor Michelangelo's David."
How can you be for one form of freedom of expression like a big naked friend over there and be against another form like Itchy and Scratchy?
Good question.
Well, I guess I can.
It's one of the first episodes that hints at the maturity and complexity that would become the show's hallmark. Maturity and complexity that's missing from this panicked and ill-considered decision to choose for the Simpsons audience which episodes of the show we're allowed to watch. I couldn't have said it better. When would the censorship end? Which corporations get to make the call on which ones are censored? Why can't we as the consumer make the ultimate call on whether we want to separate the art from the artist? After all, Michael Jackson isn't even featured in the episode. While diehard fans knew it was Michael that indeed secretly recorded the voice of the character, at the end of the episode, the character reveals himself to be Leon Kompowski.
This is my real voice. My name is Leon Kompowski, and I'm a bricklayer from Paterson, New Jersey.
And viewers watching the credits only saw the name of John J. Smith. In fact, the only real sight of MJ in the whole episode is when Bart lifts up the Thriller album cover, which the creators use as a pot shot in the DVD commentary of said episode.
This is what Michael Jackson looks like.
Not anymore.
Okay. It's this many years later. Hi, I'm Michael Jackson.
Now that's from the same commentary where the creators are gushing over Michael Jackson making this appearance and how great his performance and the episode was. They were thrilled. He was a huge star and he helped legitimize the show at the time. And this is the same person who actually helped them make a #1 hit with Do the Bartman. But here they are mocking him. Michael stepped up for him, and the creators have now turned their back over mere allegations. Simpson producer and Stark Raving Dad writer Al Jean said in the Daily Beast, "Honestly, it looks like the episode was used by Michael Jackson for something other than what we intended to. It wasn't just a comedy to him. It was something that was used as a tool, and I strongly believe that. That, to me, is my belief and why I think removing is appropriate. I think it was part of what he used to, I don't want to say here, but do things that were not good. I really don't know. I should be very careful because this is not something I know personally. But as far as what I think, that's what I think, and that makes me very, very sad. James L. Brooks was also quoted in the Wall Street Journal saying the documentary gave evidence of monstrous behavior. I'm against book burning of any kind, but this is our book, and we're allowed to take out a chapter. But it didn't actually provide any actual evidence, merely allegations. I'm sure Matt Groening does not even want me to show you the headlines that are out there about these allegations and how someone nearly threw up over his yellow toes. Those are allegations too. Which ones are we supposed to believe, Matt, James, and Al? What you did here to Michael isn't right.
Hasn't this experience taught you can't believe everything you hear?
Marge, my friend, I haven't learned a thing.
Michael Jackson is no longer here to defend himself. He already did, in a court of law, and won. We should not allow accusations to destroy a creator's legacy after death, especially with only hearsay. And especially when you had no problems bringing this character back as late as 2017. What are we going to do? I'm just one person going up against The Simpsons and Disney. In fact, if I wrote a letter, I imagine it would go something like this.
Our research indicates that one person cannot make a difference, no matter how big a screwball she is. So let me close by saying...
And the horse I rode in on, I'll show them what one screwball can do.
Damn right, Marge. In fact, let's show them what a ton of screwballs can do. That's right, I'm calling upon all of my subscribers to go sign and share this petition to save Lisa Simpson's birthday and restore Michael Jackson's episode into the Simpsons catalog. Look, this may seem silly, like I'm arguing over just a Simpsons episode, but it's so much greater, guys. We shouldn't allow corporations like Disney to edit works of art and history over mere allegations. To Matt Groening and the Simpsons team, look, I adore you guys, and I believe you thought you were doing the right thing. However, you weren't, and you look like complete hypocrites right now. Please, right this wrong. Quietly, loudly, whatever you gotta do. Just fix this, because you shouldn't set a precedent for any guest star that does wrong when you guys themselves have also been accused of things. And if you agree with me, please share and sign this petition. Go and use the hashtag Save Lisa Simpson's Birthday, as well as the hashtag MJInnocent. Help us get the word out to this team, and hopefully they will fix this. If you like what you're doing here, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell for all alerts as well. Smash the like button and leave a comment down below. And follow us as we uncover more pop culture justice here on Popcorn Planet. Lisa, it's your birthday. We're gonna get it back.